Hello, friends. I'm Keisha Renee, and today I want to talk about my hysterectomy journey. Well, my total hysterectomy journey, and what led up to it, and why I had to get one. Okay, first I want to start off by saying I'm 46 years old, and I had a hysterectomy. I do have a son. He's 26 years old. Okay, let me get my little book. Okay, so I say in my late 20s, I um used to bleed, but I didn't bleed that heavy. And I had my son at 19 years old, so basically uh my periods, my menstruations, as you call it, it was pretty much regular, whatever. I did do the depot, but I only did it for like a month, and then I never would go back and got one. And I didn't do any birth control at that time after the depot. And so I can say going on my 30s, I'll say about 35 years old or whatever, whatnot. Um, I started bleeding heavy and started having real bad cramps. But at first, it would do it. I would experience it around probably like 1 month, and then 2 or 3 months it'll be okay, and then the fourth or the fifth month I started bleeding heavy, and blood started having real heavy blood clots. I mean, about that size or whatever, falling out of me. And a lot of times I used to experience when my period came on, it was like how your water break, if you ever had any children, how like your water break or whatever, it would break like, psst, and blood would just flow down my legs, and blood clots just come out, and a lot of times I'll be at work, and I used to be a CNA, so I used to be at work, and it used to happen, and but I do want to go back a little bit, but I remember um I was 10 years old when I first got my menstruation or whatever. And I remember my mom taking me to the doctor or whatever, and I can't remember. I remember mom questioning them about my menstruation or whatever, because I believe I used to come on, and then I probably used to stop or whatever, whatnot. But yeah, I can't really remember the full details about that. But I believe I used to have problems back, you know, when I was 10 as well. But I used to always have bad cramps. My cramps used to be so horrible. I could not bear it. I couldn't even go to school. Um, at that time, being that young, I remember taking Tylenol. That didn't do nothing. That didn't help or nothing. I would probably cramp for about up to 6, 7 hours, and then the relief would come or whatever. And I did it for years until I got pregnant with my only child. And after I gave birth to him, the cramps stopped. I remember for about a couple of years I didn't have any menstrual problems or anything like that. And I believe, like I said, at my 30s, and I'll give it to around about 34, 35, is when the cramps and stuff start coming back, and then I started having more heavier menstruals, and blood clots used to just fall out of me or whatever, whatnot. And so anyway, I started letting my OBGYN know all about that, and I used to, I think I need to go ahead and get a hysterectomy because I can't bear the pains anymore. And they was like, well, no, you're still young. Let's just start off with some birth control to help regulate the period. So I did that. It started off with I said, I already done did Depo before. I don't want to do that or whatever, because that Depo had put weight on me. I used to be real slim, honey, Coca-Cola bottle. But anyway, I used to be slim or whatever, and that Depo put some weight on me, even though I just took it that one time. But anyway, so they started off me with birth control pills, and honey, child, I'm not good at taking no pills. and I basically did that for probably like 4 or 5 months or whatever, but I wasn't taking it on a regular basis. And but I didn't tell them that. And so basically, and I went on had another appointment or whatever, whatnot, and I was like, oh, this birth control not working. And then I could say they started me on naproxen. Well, no, they just told me to keep. They started on me with ibuprofen. I remember that 800s or whatever, and I would take that or whatever. And then I used to take that with Tylenol or whatever, and I did that all the way up until my 40s. And honey, I just noticed it just kept getting worse, worse, and worse. So I mean, I couldn't even work. I couldn't even work, honey. So after all of that, um, I could say about when I turned 40 years old, finally they decided they want to do ultrasound or whatever. So went in, did the ultrasound, come back. I had at this time I had one fibroid. I don't even think I was 40. I think I was probably like 30, 37, 38 around that time. And they found one fibroid, and they was like, well, this pretty much is your problem or whatever, whatnot. And so let's do another birth control. And I was like, well, okay, let me try the IUD because I had looked up the IUD or whatever, whatnot, and I noticed that some people menstrual would stop on it. And I said, well, I'll try that. If I don't bleed, I won't cramp. So, honey, don't you know I did that? I can say that I got the I got the IUD, and if you don't know what the IUD is, that's another birth control method. It looks like it's a Y shaped type of thing or whatever, and it's different brands. So basically, they put that in me or whatever, whatnot, and I can say about, honey, I still bled. I bled, honey. And I might not have had any pain. I say about the fourth or fifth month I didn't have no pain or something like that. But at the beginning I did. And then I say around the 6th month, honey, oh my God, the pain was even worse. And I was like, honey, this ain't happening and I'm still bleeding. So honey, I put up with it for a whole year. I said, well, maybe I'll try it for a year, whatever, whatnot. Did that. So, honey, when it came back time for my checkup, I said, take this thing on out of here. I said, take it on out, honey, because it ain't working. This ain't working. And I said, I want a hysterectomy. I just kept bringing it up. I want to have a hysterectomy. Well, you still too young or whatever. Let's just do let's do some naproxen. They gave me naproxen or whatever, and I was just like, forget it. I am tired of begging these people to give me a hysterectomy. So I did the naproxen, Tylenol. I mean, honey, I was eating them things up. I'm surprised my liver and kidneys and stuff not ate up because that's how I used to take them, honey. And I mean, I took more than what you're supposed to have take. You know what I mean? And like I said, I couldn't work. I'd be at work in pain, honey. And I'm glad some days I would be at home and it would come on. I mean, I'd be balled up, hollering and screaming all on the floor. Blood clots just falling, 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 falling. I mean, about this big. Oh my God, it used to be so bad. I couldn't take it no more. So, fast forward to now. At last year, not last year, yeah, last year at my personal, my PCA, my personal care, child, I can't even think right now. My personal care provider, you know, she's black, and I talked to her about, she's not my OBGYN, it's just your normal nurse practitioner, who you go get regular, checkups and, stuff like that, And my OBGYN, I would go to the OBGYN or whatever, whatnot. But anyway, my nurse care practitioner, and black. This person was black. The other people were white, honey. And I'm not racist or nothing like that, but I'm just gonna tell the truth. And I sat down and I talked to her, and I was like, telling her about all the problems I had been through, how long I've been enduring this or whatever. And I was like, I want a hysterectomy. And I said, because I can't take it no more. I don't want to go a whole nother year. And this was November of last year. And I said, well, can you refer me to another OBGYN? So she did that. And well, first of all, she was very understanding. And she was like, oh, yes, honey, I understand. And she looked at my chart and she seen all the different things that I have tried or whatever, and also how long I've been enduring it. And so she referred me to a new OBGYN. And so like I said, that was like November of last year. And let's see, she referred me to a new OBGYN. And so you have to wait a while or whatever. So I said, when they called the new OBGYN, dang, I can't even talk. The new OBGYN clinic, when they finally got in contact with me, uh, I, uh, they scheduled me like in, let's see, it was November, December, January, February, March of this year. Okay, and I was like, good. So that way I can stack my money up or whatever, whatnot. And I know I gotta do different things for them, until they schedule the hysterectomy. And so did that. I worked. I took medications as I could, honey. I endured as long as I could. And so appointment came. I had my new OBGYN visit, and she looked at my chart, and she was like, yeah, she heard me out. And at this time, I was bleeding all month long. I might stop bleeding for 2 or 3 days, and then I start bleeding all over again. Uh, Bad cramps. I mean, it had got terrible. And so she ended up putting me on a hormone medication, and it was really like a little birth control pill, something that stops your menstruation. Child, that didn't even work or whatever. And for that appointment, and then she said, I want you to, and she when she got that, when she prescribed that medication, I'm trying to think, y'all, and I feel like I'm all over the place or whatever. After this is the anesthesia, honey. I'm feeling different. I'm telling you about that in a little while too. So anyway, honey, I was taking those pills or whatever, and those hormone pills. They slowed it down, but it didn't stop it. And so that was my first visit. Then I had a follow-up visit, and they run tests or whatever, whatnot. And then the second visit was in March. The second visit was in March. In June or whatever. And no, in March, April, in May. And so okay, she said, we're getting ready to schedule your hysterectomy. Look out on your my chart or whatever, and they're gonna contact you, whatever. And so I also told her, I said, honey, I'm still bleeding. The medicine you got me on still bleeding. She was like, what? And she said, okay, so we're gonna put you on something else or whatever, whatnot. And I want you to take them all the way up until the surgery. So she prescribed me some more hormone pills that stop your period, and this time that worked or whatever. And oh, thank God, because I still bled, but it wasn't a lot, and it was only when I would wipe, when I used the bathroom, when I would see it, but I would feel, like a little, like my period was trying to come on, just a little discomfort a little bit. But thank God, honey, I didn't have no cramps, no more blood clots. I was like, God, thank you, a relief. So they scheduled my hysterectomy for August the 14th. Um, August 3rd was my birthday, so August 3rd, 14th, the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. About what, 10, 11 days after my birthday, honey, I said, honey, I need to kill or whatever. And so they scheduled it. I took the medications all the way up until my to date of the surgery. But honey, let me tell you about what happened, boo. Let me tell y'all about what happened, honey. So I was getting everything prepared, honey, get my little room I was gonna be in, where I'm at now, and or whatever, getting everything together, honey. So my man, they put me on Ativan too, honey. Let me tell you about that. Okay, so my last appointment with her, before the surgery, she was like, yeah, um, this they gonna do. This is what we gonna do. And she was describing about the robotic, because that's what I had, a robotic uh, surgery or whatever, through the vaginal. And honey, I told her, I said, I don't want to hear that. And I automatically just broke down and started crying, honey. I had a panic attack. And honey, she looked at me. She was like, oh, honey, oh my God, I'm gonna have to get you something. And after her visit, I had to go to the place where she was gonna do the surgery at. Was like beside the hospital or whatever, whatnot. And honey, she said, when you go over there, she said, ask them, can you take some Ativan, honey? Because, oh, honey, you a mess, honey. Like, what? I was like, yeah, I'm gonna need that, honey. And cause, honey, I wanted the hysterectomy bad as I wanted. I was scared. I was so scared because I have never been up under any type of anesthesia. I believe when giving birth, I was, but not like that. You know what I'm saying? I gave natural birth, but they gave me the what is it called? The epidural or whatever, where they numb you from your waist down. They did that. That's all I've been through, honey. But I've never been in and out or whatever. But for as, honey, any type of major surgery, I have never been up under any type of anesthesia. And I have bad anxiety. So anyway, honey, I went to the appointment after her, and honey, they did all the tests or whatever. They draw blood or whatever, to find out, what type of blood, what blood type I am. I am A positive, and so did all that, and I let them know. I said, my doctor want to know, can she prescribe me Ativan the day before the surgery? They was like, honey, yeah, we do that all the time. So I sent the message through my chart or whatever, whatnot. So honey, let me tell y'all, honey, what went down. So honey, I ended up popping the Ativan or whatever, whatnot, uh Thursday. Dang, I can't even talk. Thursday. And honey, my man, he had took off or whatever, whatnot, cause he was gonna take me, and honey, that man, y'all, had me so emotional and in my feelings. My man ended up leaving, going to go do something, and I needed to do that body wash or whatever, the last night of that body wash, and he had went and got in the accident. Somebody hit him. And he called me. He was like, baby, I've been in the accident and I got hit. And I was like, I don't care. I need you home with me. You weren't supposed to left anyway, y'all. I was all in my feelings, honey. I had to apologize to him. I said, baby, I was on them drugs. Cause, honey, I ain't take no other pills other than ibuprofen, naproxen, and stuff like that. I ain't never took no drugs, narcotics and stuff before. But anyway, honey, I was in my feelings. That happened. Okay, I gotta tell you about Tuesday. Tuesday. Tuesday, honey. I woke up Tuesday morning, and this was before the surgery. Tuesday at the 11th. My whole right side, it's like I had pulled a muscle from. I always have problems with my neck because I had injured when I was a CNA, honey. Putting on them patients. But I ain't no CNA no more. I'm a medical assistant, certified medical assistant. But anyway, honey, from right here all the way down to my right side, it was hurting so bad. And I was like, oh my God. Because they take you off all your medication except for your blood pressure medication. That's all they wanted me to take. And I ended up calling the lady. She was like, you can call me anytime or whatever. Ask me some questions. I ended up calling. I said, honey, I done woke up and I think I done pulled a muscle. Can I take my Flexeril? And she was like, yeah, you can take it. You can take it. I said, honey, because it's bad. I said, y'all, I couldn't even move. I couldn't even move that right side. So anyway, honey, so I took the Flexeril, baby. That wasn't even working. And so, I work at the urgent care. And so I called my the providers that I work with. I let them know what happened. I let them know I'm getting ready to have surgery Friday. And I need to know if I can get an injection, a steroid injection. And the MD, they was like, yeah, you can or whatever. But we still out. Go to the other clinic. So I end up going there, and they end up giving me the injection, honey. Within 30 minutes, I started feeling the relief anyway. So that happened, girl. It was like I was being attacked. My home was being attacked. But anyway, honey, so my man, he ended up having to go to the hospital or whatever. And baby, he was in the hospital all night. So basically, I woke up, he still wasn't here. I'm high off the Ativan. I said, I got to get to the hospital because my appointment, I had to be signed in at 5:30 because my surgery was going to start at 7:30. And they said I was going to be the first one. So, honey, did that. I had to get up at 3 o'clock because it takes about 45 minutes from where I live to get to where I was going to have the surgery at. Honey, he was still at the hospital because, honey, that it takes, but he was at the same hospital where I was going to have the surgery. So I know I had to that last Ativan at 7, and I couldn't take, they only gave me 3 boo. And so at 11 o'clock, down 11. At 11 o'clock, honey, I had did that body wash or whatever, whatnot. Took me a nap. Woke up about 2 o'clock. I called to see where he was at. He said, I'm still at the hospital. I ain't been, whatever. You know how long it take, boo. So anyway, I was like, okay, I got to get myself to work. I got emotional about that. I got to get myself to the hospital, to the surgery. Honey, I had to drink that drink. Thank God I already had my little bag and stuff packed because I had been got that stuff together. Honey, I left about 3:55 because I wanted to go real slow, and I know that I could sit in the parking lot and take a nap. And I said, when he come out, he should be coming out, and he'll just come around and come down or whatever, come around where I'm at. Drove myself to the dang on girl. Oh my God. Drove myself there. Got there at about 4:30. In the parking lot, I told him, I said, I drove myself here, and I made it safely, and I'm gonna go in about 5:15, and just let me know when you get out the hospital. I'm already here. I'm below you. The emergency room it's above where I was gonna have the surgery at. So honey, I sat in that parking lot, took a nap. Woke up about 5:05, and whatever, whatnot. Went on in, took myself in there, and he got in there. He got out about 4:20, and then my son ended up coming about at 5:30 on the dot. So anyway, made it, honey. But yeah, anyway, so I had to put that right there. So anyway, the reason why I had to have a hysterectomy is because I have bad fibroids. Oh, and I forgot to add that during my visit, when they had to run some more tests and stuff on me, and they had to do another ultrasound or whatever, or not. End up I end up I had end up I had 3 more fibroids, and they said, honey, look like a little Mickey Mouse, and I could see on the screen up there Mickey Mouse. One right here, one right there, and one right there looked like a Mickey Mouse or whatever. But they weren't too big. I forgot how big they was, honey. Don't ask me. And so end up, you know, having a hysterectomy or whatever, whatnot. So anyway, honey, so I had to have them because I had fibroids, and it ended up getting 3 more. And what else? The menstruals was bad. Okay, so I'll tell y'all about what happened. Okay, so went on back to the room, and you had to dress down or whatever, put on a hospital gown, whatever, whatnot, and so they started, hooking you up and stuff. My man back there, my son, whatever. No, on my son, my man came. My son was still sitting out there. But anyway, honey. So I was calm. I think the other man was working. I was calm, and so I started putting the IVs in and stuff. And the anesthesiologist, when they come in, it's that time, boo. And so I believe my OBGYN told them not to tell me too much, or whatever, and that was okay because I didn't want to have more anxiety than I already had. So anesthesiologist come on in there, honey, and he was like, yeah, I'm your anesthesiologist, and I'll be the one putting the medicine in, and it's gonna help you go to sleep. I was like, okay, and whatever, not. And so they did. So started hooking me up with the IV, and I felt a little high or whatever, but I was so relaxed. I can remember being so relaxed. And then they was like, well, okay, we're getting ready to roll on in there. So my man had to leave on out the room. They started rolling me into the OR. And I'm going to tell y'all, they rolled me in there. All I remember is, the big thing with the light and stuff that fall down so they could see to do the surgery. And had I remember she put the mask on me, boo. She put the mask on me, and she said, take a couple deep breaths. She didn't even say, honey, count backwards. And all I remember was saying, child, they think they finna put me to sleep. And I was gone, baby. Gone. And next thing you know, I woke up. My man and my son was in the room. And I do remember saying, oh, my family. And they say, honey, I went right back to sleep. But anyway, so, okay, so when I got out, when I woke up or whatever, whatnot, my old man said that the surgery was probably like 45 minutes. And So we had to go to the recovery, and y'all, I was out of it. I knew I was awake, but then I didn't know I was awake. That's the way I can explain it. And I only remember getting home. I do not, honey. And I got home. All I remember was my son was telling me that I would go to sleep and I'll wake up, and he was like, I went to sleep and I woke up and I said, yes, they out there on the porch, and I go back to sleep, wake up and say something else, say all kind of stuff. And I was still up on the anesthesia, honey. That's my dog. Diamond, what you barking at? But anyway, honey, I was still up on the anesthesia. So I remember, when they woke me up, I do remember saying, pain, I'm in pain, or whatever. And when I got home or whatever, when I started coming out of it a little bit, and I felt a little pressure or whatever down there, but it wasn't that much pain. Diamond, hush, honey. And I felt pressure, but it wasn't no pain like, oh my God, give me some narcotics. No, it wasn't like that, dude. It was like a little just pressure, like something just pushing. So I remember urinating or whatever, and then that's when that went away or whatever. And so that first day I pretty much slept, and I remember eating fries. I wrote it down right here. I just ate some small fry, and I didn't have a bowel movement that day. And in the second day, what, Diamond? You need to hush, honey. You jealous because I'm on here, honey, vlogging. But anyway, honey, the second day, I remember not feeling hungry. I got it wrote down, honey, in my little book. No, I was not really hungry. I slept on and off. And I urinated a lot. I didn't have a bowel movement that day, but that's the day I started taking the Dococet. And I ate a little bit, and I pretty much slept on and off, baby, on and off. Okay, so the third day, I pooped that morning. Honey. It was smooth, easy. I ate. I had craving for some seafood. Oh, my baby went and got me some seafood, boo. A fish plate, fish and fries. And I slept a little bit. And day 4, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, day 4, I had about 3 bowel movements. I had them all day. And my appetite came back, and I still felt like I was up on a little anesthesia, but I was taking medication. They gave me Oxy, and they gave me Ativan, honey, and I still felt a little loopy or whatever, but I was happy. I wasn't in pain, still wasn't in pain, y'all, and still not in pain. So Tuesday, day 4, Wednesday, honey, was my old man's birthday or whatever, honey, and he cooked steak and some ribs, and honey, we tore down, boo. Appetite came back, baby. Wasn't hungry, but each day, honey, I got up and I did walk. I remember doing that, walking when I got back. And I walk every day throughout the house. I go outside and walk. And today is like what, day 5. And up, and I felt like vlogging. I'm still not hurting. I'm still having bowel movements. I pee a lot because I make sure I drink my fluids, baby. And so that's pretty much it. It was okay. I mean, what I thought it was, I was overthinking. I believe you can say that I was overthinking. Oh, but honey, boo boo, you see the little fans right here? I use that at work at my desk. Honey, I got 2 on, boo. Try. Let me see. Let me turn the baby. See that? They got to blow on me, baby. I mean, I was already having hot flashes before the surgery, and I started really having uh, hot flashes uh, Tuesday. Oh my God, honey, popping sweat, honey. I wear my little moo-moos and stuff. Child, I walk around here naked. It ain't nobody here but me, my man, and my little poo-poo, my little diamond, honey. She bad, spoiled, rotten. But anyway, honey, I walk around here naked, baby. Cause, honey, I ain't finna be hot. No, ma'am. And I do feel a little emotional. I was watching something on TV the other day. Baby, I got this. Oh, in my feelings, I was like, oh my God. Why? Why did they do that to them? They didn't have to do that. And then I came up out of it. I was like, oh my God. I'm finna go through it. And I had to turn it, baby. So, honey, I love to watch Forensic Files, Snap, all them type of shows, baby. I can't watch them right now because I'm going to really be in my feelings, boo. So, anyway, like I said, honey, I'm Keisha Renee. And I thought I would vlog about my hysterectomy. I know I've probably been going on, and on. But, honey, this is me, baby. I'm real, baby. And, I'll be posting some more stuff, boo. I'll be posting some more stuff. I'm getting ready to post another one after I finish this one, baby. I'm going to post some other little stuff or whatever. I'm going to show my little craft room, different type of stuff. And let's get on here and talk, honey, run off at my mouth, baby. And I ain't trying to get rich off of this. I ain't got to have no whole bunch of subscribers. I ain't with all that, baby, or whatever, whatnot. I ain't trying to make no money. But if you want to comment, subscribe, and just join me. Come and join Keisha Renee, boo-boo, honey. Child, what? It's time to live now, baby. That's what I keep telling myself. It's time to live, boo. No more periods, baby. Over with. Yeah, and I did it. I had that hysterectomy. You know what I mean? I did that, boo. I didn't think I was going to be able to do that. I did it. Praise God for that, honey. But, honey, let me get on up off of this thing, boo. And I'm going to record some more, baby, and post some more. I already have some other little stuff, content on there, whatever, whatnot. But I ain't really been posting like that. But I'm going to start posting a little bit more, honey, vlogging or whatever you call it, baby. And if you want to join in. All right, nice seeing y'all, baby, honey. I ain't got all that special effects and all that, because, honey, baby, I don't know how to do all that. But, talk to y'all later. Talk to y'all later, friends. Oh.